Hey everybody, before the video starts, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who has been supporting me and following me and leaving wonderful comments and just sticking around. I've been working very hard to make this video for you guys, and I hope that you guys like it. And then also a huge thank you to Sakura Model for supplying the wheels and some of the 3D parts for this build. Enjoy the video. Let's jump right into the custom. Let's drill open the car. Start with the Toyota Supra. And then we're going to move over to the 4Runner. Let's pop all this other stuff out of here. The interior, the plastic piece, Toyota Supra. Beautiful. 4Runner, so difficult. Why you got to be difficult? Alright, take it apart. 4Runner. Beauty. Alright, first, let's go ahead and add some paint remover to our little paint jar remover. And then drop these one at a time right in. Bing, bang, boom. Give it about an hour, and then take your cars out. They look disgusting. But the good thing about that is we're going to clean them, and they're going to look beautiful. Look at these. Then you'll grab some sandpaper, some really fine sandpaper, sand them down, and get it ready to get customized. Here I'm using my little filer thing to file down these metal pieces to take the wheels out. Use a little air to get rid of the metal shards. On the 4Runner, luckily I didn't have to do that. Let's pick out some wheels. Look at these. These are beauty. And then for the 4Runner, same thing. Love. Alright, I'm going to use a drill, and I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and drill some of the slots here. Use some of our axles. I'm going to use one axle here so I can retrofit the fitment, and then realized it wasn't working, so I needed to file it down to some more. Added some sticky putty so it don't fall out. Grab some old wheels in their axles, and then we're going to use them. Look at these wheels. We're going to take them out. And then with these wheels, to get the fitment just right, I used other tires actually. So I'm going to remove these tires here. And I use some Monoblock tires. These are the ultra thin. They're beautiful. And it's going to give us the perfect fitment for the car. We're going to retrofit it right now. Add the body. Look at that. Ooh, but it doesn't roll, and it doesn't roll because the fenders needed to be shaved down, so we're going to shave it down. You'll probably have to do this a few times and take the body apart and put it back together to get the perfect roll, but once you get it, it should roll perfectly. And then you're going to want to slam the car, I'm assuming, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab some sandpaper and sand down the car base, and now it looks based. Alright, grab our interior and let's cut down the interior pieces in here. This is because the new axles are thicker, so you need to cut down the plastic pieces to have the interior sit properly. Once you get your axles, you cut them down to size, glue them in, and then I'm cutting them off because they're too long that way. Then I use a little filing bit to make some holes. So when I put the new wheels in with the axles, I just glue them down like this. I also realized that the back tires are having problems with the interior, so I went to go and cut the interior off and then broke my saw blade. Then I used some sandpaper, and we cleaned it up. And it came out to be pretty nice. I put everything together, and I was very impressed that the car actually rolled. So then I was so happy that I ended up going ahead and tapping the car so I don't have to do it later. Here we're grinding down the exhaust part Here I ground it down on the base, and then I put the car together, and then I add a little bit of a slot here so the exhaust can fit properly. That's what it looks like. Now we're gonna go and cut down the plastic piece for the windows. Now we're gonna do the interior. We're gonna cut that out, take the seat out, because I'm gonna put in a custom seat. Use my X-Acto knife to file everything up, and once it's done, I primer it black, and we done with it here. I have this custom bucket seat that I made off camera, because it probably took me like 2 hours to just make the seat. So that's what the seat looks like. I'm drilling some holes in the interior so then I can add some of this little plastic rod or tubing or whatever you want to say for the roll cage. Add a little bend here and add a little bend there, super glue it in, and then find a roll cage that you can look for reference and then just model off of that. That's what I did. I just kind of found a roll cage that works and then did that. Adding all the other details to this car, starting with the steering wheel, super gluing that, then using some metal mats and metal pedals. Metal pedal. Add them right there, super glue everything in. Once it's done, looks good. I used some black acrylic paint and cleaned up all the other places where I scratched up the car, so it looks a little better once you put everything together. That's what it looks like. After the steering wheel has super glued down, I add in all the fine details to the car with using varieties of acrylic paints, which are water-based and then oil-based. Here I made a little custom laptop for our Supra, and we're gonna place it right here. That's because this guy's going way too fast. And there it is, complete. Everything perfect. Now we're gonna go and start with the 4Runner. Let's get the wheels. Look at these bad boys. We started to add it into the original base, but it didn't work. So I had to improvise, shave down these pieces here with our sandpaper, then use a filer and file down a little groove where the axle will sit. You measure exactly how you want your fitment, and then you glue everything down. Make sure it's the same for the back. It's all equal. Then you roll test. It looks good. Here I shaved down a little bit of this piece because I was gonna add these metal tubings for like a suspension lift kit, and I needed to shave it down so I can make that fit. Moving to the interior, I'm gonna cut off this ugly hockey puck of a steering wheel. What is that thing? And then add our own. We're gonna go and paint the seats with some oil-based paint. I made a little racing baby car seat for the car. And here we're just gonna add a little license plate to the car as well. Now we're doing the finishing touches with the interior. We're gonna use these blue seat belts. They are water slide decals, so they'll lay right just perfectly on the seats. And look at that. Looks like the real thing. Alright, fire extinguisher for safety. Unfortunately, the baby car seat doesn't have a harness, so baby's gonna go on a wild journey. Alright, let's add the last part. It's gonna be the roll cage. And here's the final product. This is what it looks like. And then I almost forgot, we need to add some pedals and also some mats. Look at the details, looks great. Now we're gonna make the car very shiny, so I'm gonna sand it down with different grits. Use some compound after the 2000 and use microfiber to make it all shiny. By no means is it perfect. It was just an experiment, but it actually came out good when I painted because it was very smooth. There are some little blemishes here and there, but that's okay. I could have spent more time on it, but I chose not to. I just did it because I wanted to do it. All right, we're gonna airbrush. These are the paints. This is the filthy airbrush that's gonna paint the cars. I'm gonna use some helping hands. Place the car there, and there it goes. It's done. Here are the finished product of the airbrushed car. They are not clear coated yet. Now we're gonna start painting the headlight details and all the details around the car. This is all just water-based acrylic paints. I use like a little thin brush, and you can start adding the details. Look online for like references on how to paint the headlights. There's so many different varieties of headlights that you can paint, but just get the one that looks the best. And then all the other pieces here, we're just adding some black accents to the car. Same thing for the taillights and the rear. And then we'll do black, layer on top of white, layer on top of with red. Add this license plate and then the details. And then I almost forgot, but then I remembered I needed to paint the side mirrors. And there we go. Now we're adding this little light bar that was 3D printed. And then also this little like little bumper guard thing that was also 3D printed. I painted both of them and added the stickers to the light bar. So it's all done and complete and beautiful. Toyota Supra is next. It's gonna get the same treatment. I'm gonna add all the details in. Look online, find a car, find a reference, and then just go off of that. It's much easier than just trying to guess what it could look like. It's just like a nice little helping guide. Here I'm doing the taillights. Honestly, I will say the taillights turn out better than I expected. I did a little like fading effect on them, so I think it looks good. And there's the final product. Last bit, gonna put my brand on there, car things. And then the intercooler detail, I almost forgot about that. That's kind of the last part. After everything was done, I clear coated the cars. Here are them, super shiny and clear coated. And after a day or two of them just sitting, I then put them together so it doesn't leave any prints or anything. It fully cured, and you can play with it or whatever you want to do with it. Here I had to actually shave down the screw a little bit, but yeah. And here's the final product. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the last little bit.